We're coming to you live from the Paul VI Hall, right beside St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City State. And for those of you watching on video, you can see the audience for all of those women and men who work more or less directly with the Pope in the day-to-day operation, despite the fact the Pope in the day-to-day operation of the Vatican, the Holy See, the Vicariate decap. My name is Christopher Wells from the Vatican Media section of and Catholic Radio in India. Very warm welcome, one and all, to both of the bishops and of the whole company of the faithful hierarchical structures of the Eastern churches. All of these, it says, are of great pastoral benefit, as expressed, but they cover different areas of church life, including evangelical. Tension with, at the time, the newly unified country of Italy. Secretary of State. But Vatican City State also serving the Holy See, so representatives of and witnessing to them in an exemplary manner. First of all, by ensuring that the people of God in the diocese entrusted to him is confirmed in faith and charity. In this way, her synodality was one of the Sixth and St. John Paul II. For those of you listening in on the radio, you can hear the reorganization of the Vicariate, which in Rome performs the functions of a diocesan curia. Pope Francis' work, it continues the efforts of Paul VI and St. John Paul II. For those of you listening in on the radio, you can hear the warm welcome extended to Pope Leo as he enters the Paul VI Hall and approaches his place on the main stage, as it were. A very warm welcome, I think. Allora. There's, the Pope tells a bit of a joke. He says the longer the applause, the longer the speech. And begins, as always, with the sign of the cross and the liturgical greeting, peace be with you. And will now give his address to Vatican employees. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm happy to be able to greet all of you who form the working communities of the Roman Curia, the Governorate, and the Vicariate of Rome. I greet the heads of dicasteries and other superiors, the heads of offices, and all the officials. Yes, as you know, I arrived only 2 years ago when the beloved Pope Francis named me as prefect of the dicastery for the bishops. At that point, I left the Diocese of Chiclayo in Peru and came to work here. What a change. And now then, what can I say? Only what Simon Peter said to Jesus on Lake Tiberias. Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you.
I papi passano, la curia rimane.
The popes come and go, the Curia remains. This is the first thought I'd like to share with you. Working in the Roman Curia, John Paul II, as I think you are aware, the mission experience is part of my own life, and not only as a baptized person, as it is for all of us Christians, but because it encourages dialogue, are like salt for food. They give it, and
Allora diciamo insieme Ave
then pray to get
Magnus Vobiscum,
the apostolic blessing.
sit nomen Domini benedictum, adiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini. Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen. Grazie di nuovo, tanti auguri.
Thank you again, and best wishes for everybody. So the Holy Father concludes his address to Vatican employees, including various people who are present for the audience. Those are, first of all, the various officials of the Roman Curia and of Rome administration. And they had the faithful in the recitation of the Marian antiphon for Eastertide, the Regina Caeli, and the basilicas of John Lateran. And tomorrow afternoon, the Holy Father will be traveling to his cathedral, the Cathedral Archbasilica of St. John Lateran, where he will formally be installed as the Bishop of Rome. Of course, he is Bishop of Rome from the moment he accepts his election, but there are a number of formal ceremonies that take place at the beginning of each pontificate, including going to his cathedral church, again, St. John Lateran. And then tomorrow evening, he's also paying a visit to the Papal Basilica of St. Mary Major. And that will complete a series of formal visits to the major churches of Rome, the papal basilicas. The first in precedence is the Papal Archbasilica of St. John Lateran, the mother church of the city and of the world, as is proudly proclaimed on its facade, but also the Church of St. Mary Major, and the basilicas of St. Peter and of St. Paul's outside the walls, which he visited earlier this week. For those of you watching on television, you can see that the Holy Father, after the formal greetings with the bishops and cardinals and leadership of the various dicasteries of the Vicariate of Rome, of the Holy See, the Holy Father has gone down to the main section of the Paul VI Hall, where he is greeting employees and family members and spending quite a bit of time shaking people on those various social media platforms. I'll make these live broadcasts available throughout the Twitter and YouTube accounts. And you'll also be able on those various social media platforms